slogan that's coming from these crazy mouthpieces, and that includes cable television from Saudi Arabia, right? The Wahhabite cable TV world is also part of this attack. They say, drive out the Christians, send the Christians to Beirut and get them out, right? Ship them out of the Middle East, and kill all the Alawites. So a massacre between Christians and Alawites. It's probably 35% of the whole population. Think of it, 35% of 20 million. You're getting into pretty heavy-duty genocide. So if you're an evangelical Christian, you cannot be a part of this.
I totally agree, and that's the same thing that happened in Libya. As soon as they kicked out Gaddafi and the rest, they started murdering all the black Africans. And in Iraq,
it's the same thing. It happens the same place, all over the place. And if it happens in Syria, then Lebanon, right? Lebanon has a pretty big Christian community, right? And General Aoun, Michel Aoun, is traditionally the leader of that group. What you have in Lebanon is a Christian Shiite alliance. In other words, General Aoun is allied with Hezbollah against the puppet regime of Rafiq Hariri, or the current Hariri. So take a look at that. Again, if you think you're a Christian evangelical, examine the reasons why a very devout Christian like General Aoun makes a deal with Nasrallah of Hezbollah, and you'll see that the whole Middle East is absolutely not what anybody told you, but it's completely different.
Yeah, they do that because they realize they have to live together, and they've decided, well, this is better than killing each other, and that's where we should be going.
And there's a lot more. I mean, there's a positive, there's a mutual interest, which is positive. One of the things they say is we have to defend ourselves against the Israelis.
Right. Well, we're going to leave it at that. Webster, thanks for coming on today and offering us your perspective, and we will talk to you soon.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Right. You have a good one. Well, and usually that's when I say that's our show for today, but we're going to have a special over 50-minute version of Ask Alex, and this is through Planet InfoWars, where you can actually join a group, ask your questions to Alex. He sits in there with Christy Hightower, and he answers pretty much all the questions. And some of them are short, about 20 minutes, and some are long, about 50 minutes. So this is a 50-minute one coming up now. If you're not a member of PrisonPlanet.tv, if you are watching this on YouTube, please consider being a member and supporting us. This is the only way we're funded. We're not funded by George Soros, MSNBC, the military-industrial complex. Any of those entities are not our sugar daddies. We are solely funded by viewers and supporters like you out there. So please consider getting a membership. We have a 15-day free trial. And also become a member of Planet InfoWars. It's our new social network. That's free to join. You can get on there. You can meet like-minded people around the area. We have people writing articles and submitting those. So it's just a great way to get the word out and meet like-minded people. And because that's what it's all about. We have to stick together in these times. And just as Webster Tarpley was alluding to, the Christians and the Shiites are learning how to work together because they have to. They decided that killing each other isn't going to work. But when we let these rogue, radical criminal groups in, that's when they start picking out one group that they don't like and massacring them. And we've seen it happen before, and it will happen again. So with that, we go to Ask Alex, and that'll be the end of our show. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Hi, welcome. I'm Christy Hightower from the Planet InfoWars Ask Alex group. I'm here with Alex Jones. We're finishing the last part of the marathon set of questions. So we're going to start off where we left off, which is question 24.
Okay, so I got through about half of them last time.
Right.
We've got to hurry today, so 26 questions in 20 minutes.
You got it. Tick, tick, tock. Okay. Alex, what are your thoughts on the NSTIC program? Is it dangerous? Is it as dangerous as I think? And biometric access for the internet, is that required?
That's what governments all over are pushing for, to tax you, not just track you and not just frame you, but also tax you. And then they're saying if you're not a good little globalist, they're going to ban your internet ID and kick you off the web or blacklist you. And the architecture under SOPA and ACTA and others has been where there's no judge or jury. They just decide you're engaging in hate speech, or you're engaging in copyright infringement, or you're engaging in whatever the case is, and then you're just banned and blacklisted from the web. This is a very, very dangerous authoritarian move, especially in the 21st century. I mean, this is the future, is the internet. So it's basically a human
especially with all the activist movements. And I mean, you need to be able to talk to the people you're.
Well, that's right. The system wants to use the internet to try to create its own revolutions and steer things, but they're not winning. They're losing. They help build what is the web today, but the people are what brought all this ingenuity to it and built it up.
Absolutely.
And so the establishment, the man, is really rethinking the fact that they thought they could dominate the internet. Too late, genie out of the bottle.
This comes to you from Max, and he says, "Hey, Alex, please cover the Samson option on the show." I don't know if you know anything about the Samson option.
Well, I know that, again, I am not given these questions beforehand. Last week, she had 50 questions, only got to 24 of them or so, and I have not looked at these. I believe the Samson option from memory is Israel nuking all of its neighbors if it's attacked. And then they've also called some of the others the Samson option of, to go ahead and just nuke the whole world and the elite goes underground. But when can't remember something exactly, put a star, because we should on all the stuff we've starred.
Yeah.
Just do a piece on that where you go and say, is this what you remember?
Awesome.
Because,
I can do that.
Somebody called in today about a CFR document and said the name. I said, that's CFR document, isn't it? They said, yeah. And then once they said yes, then I could remember that I was accurately thinking of the right federal takeover of society. But, I mean, what do they say the Samson option is?
They didn't really. I think they just wanted you to elaborate.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to have a special edition where we go back to these questions.
I mean, I could Google it. You know what? I've just got to see right now. I mean, I know I said this is a hurry, but I'm on the... I mean, it's Israel nuking everybody.
Samson option. Yeah.
Very exciting. Kind of has the Jeopardy sound. Dee, 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 dee. Dee, 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 dee. Yeah, there it is. It's the Samson option is a term used by various commentators to describe Israel's alleged deterrent strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort. Oh, Israel doesn't admit they have nukes, so I guess they don't.
Right.
And the government doesn't admit chemtrailing, so it doesn't exist. No, Israel has 400 nuclear weapons at least.
I can't see you, you can't see me.
Their own people have said so. Commentators also have employed the term in reference to situations where non-nuclear, non-Israel actors such as Saddam Hussein, Yasser Arafat, or Hezbollah have threatened conventional weapons retaliation. Yeah, I mean, Samson brought the whole temple down. You know the story. Okay.
Yeah.
I was correct, but I'm not, just sure of everything. I always have to double check. Okay, go ahead.
Well, one quick thing. I feel like Max probably could do that, and I'm just sure that maybe we'll hit it back with some other facts that you've got.
Max could do what?
The guy that asked the question on the Samson.
Oh, but I mean, what is his specific question? Hold on one second. We're going to keep rolling. My wife is calling. We'll do this on air now, unedited. Hey, honey, how you doing? I am taping something. I'm taping the Ask Alex. I'll be done in about 15 minutes. Can I call you back, or is it an emergency? Yeah, go eat without me. I'm going to have to stay late. I love you. Bye. There you go, multitasking. This is how hard we work here. Most media outlets like one thing a week, not us. We're just continuing.
Nope.
In fact, Chris, can I have a glass of water, please? Thank you.
No problem.
All right, let's continue. I already had too many of those.
Okay.
InfoWarsTeam.com.
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly. InfoWars. Brianna asks you, she says, hey, Alex, can you cover RFID implementation in the Obamacare bill and discuss if there's anything about non-vaccinating, too?
Okay. Look, everybody freaked out about a section in the legislation. It's a terrible bill that said, oh, my gosh, it funds putting chips in us. And it does fund all these medicalized chips and chips in the new pills that are coming out and things. So that is there. That is where medicine's going. And chips wouldn't be bad to make a blind person see. The problem is all tech they put out, they admit, they make you pay for it. Trojan horse back doors are put in. Mm-hmm. So if there was some brain chip to stop Parkinson's or a brain chip to, heal the blind, I'm all for it. The problem is for buying and selling, the establishment is eugenicist-based. They're evil by any culture's yardstick. So you can't trust any of the tech because the big tech companies are so wildly corrupt.
Yeah.
That's why we should go open source, try to support small companies. But small companies don't make a Canon camera with a color chip that big that gives people total high-def look of a $200,000 movie camera just 10 years ago.
Right.
So I can't support a mom and pop here. I mean, now these Canons come out with GPS to mark where you're at. And in the future, the Sony ones, they're saying you won't have a choice. It's going to put on the tape or the chip everywhere we've been. Why? Even if we want it turned off. Jacobson, what do you say to that?
It's intrusive. Sounds like they're trying to map the entire world.
That's it. They are mapping the entire world, and then they can track it with real-time NSA. Exactly. Next question.
And pen you down later.
Rob, if you want, you can go wide shot, too, and go check that work you got. We're multitasking. Go ahead.
This is coming from Freedomite, and he says that he's an EMS and a firefighter, and they've been bombarded with disaster drills and mass casualty incident training more and more. And he goes, I know they're prepping us for something. All the major and even smaller EMS and fire services are becoming more and more federalized with new regulations, as well as becoming a legal minefield for emergency workers. They're requiring new vaccines to be taken by healthcare and emergency workers. So what do you say to that? Like,
they use all these disaster drills just to prime federal control. And then the next phase is, by the way, people that don't like the government are terrorists. That's the real phase of all of this. And they're telling the police there will be martial law in October. I've confirmed that from all over the country. I'm not saying that. They do it to create a fear and go, okay, now take the shot. They tried to get police, firefighters, and other responders, 14 million of them, first responders, nurses, you name it, under the emergency... what's the exact name? It's funny with memory here. The Emergency Centers Establishment Act is what always pops in my head, but that's only 3 years old. They tried to do that with the... Oh, man, it's so hard to sit there and come up with the exact name. It was in 2002. They ordered them to do it. And, only a few thousand did it. 95+% said no. The LA Times reported it was 14 million first responders, and then almost all of them said no. And it was the Health States Emergency Powers Act. That's almost the name. The point is that people look all this up for yourself. Emergency Centers Establishment Act, the Health Emergency. It's one of those deals.
I wish I could help you on that one.
I'm just going to look it up right now. It's driving me absolutely insane. This will end up being 10 hours long. Well, I tell you, this is going to be one crazy episode here. The States Health Emergency Powers Act. The Model States Health Emergency Powers Act. You just looked that up for me, didn't you?
Beautiful.
Maybe we can get you involved, Chris, with a terminal typing right here like we do live on the air.
It'd be beautiful.
So you guys are asking me questions, and then I'm getting to the point where I can't even... what was the question to begin with?
Essentially, he's an EMS and a firefighter, and they're requiring them to take...
Yeah, they use all this fear-mongering. First, they said, it's the law, you must take anthrax and smallpox shots. And some cops took it and dropped dead, and then people were like, you know what, I'm not going to take that. Yeah. They tried to make the military take it. They refused. There were mutinies. And then they had that particular move in 2002, but it failed. So now they're just back doing it again. Just because they say there's going to be martial law in October doesn't mean there's going to be. But I'll tell you this, I've never seen them hyping it so much. Christy, what do you think's going on?
I genuinely don't know. I mean, I'm not in a position to really speak. Right now, I'm just taking in everything I learned. Like, I'm just taking it all in. I do have a question, kind of an extension of that. Martial law being hyped in October. I mean, I've heard a lot about it, but this tanks on the street in St. Louis. But where have you heard all of this from?
I heard it from our London media mole, who turned out to be a famous TV host and filmmaker before he went public. He infiltrated the Olympics as security, said they're saying after the Olympics, it's going to be something that changes the world forever. That they heard stuff like October. I've just got a lot of other sources. We've